Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Zoe and I'm so happy that you clicked on today's video. I am so excited for today's video because I feel like it has been the longest time since I just sat down with you guys and did a TBR video because I didn't really have a set TBR all summer long, but now we are entering fall and I have only all the best fall reads in this lineup. I'm so excited to show you guys my TBR for September today and also to talk about my August wrap up. August was a little bit of a struggle for me. It was a slower month for sure. I feel like typically I average like 10-ish books a month and I read 6 in August, which is still nothing to be upset about, but I was in the depths of a reading slump in August that had been going on for months. And it was just very hard to get through books at first, but I will say I am also thankful for August because I did actually get out of my reading slump in that month and I have found my love for reading again, so that's super exciting. So with that being said, I do have my August wrap up and my September TBR to get through today, so let's just get started with the 6 books that I read in August. So as I said, I was in a reading slump in the beginning of August and I started the month off with one that took me far too long to read. I read Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. This was my second Ali Hazelwood book. I read The Love Hypothesis back in July and really enjoyed it, and everybody seemed to be reading Love Theoretically. It was like just blowing up for a bit, so I was like, I feel like I should give it a shot, see how it is. And honestly, it was really cute, but I was a little disappointed. I thought that Jack and Elsie were super cute. I loved their love in this book, and I do think Ali Hazelwood is so good at writing these cute, fluffy little romances that also have these fun STEM aspects to them, and I really appreciate what she does. I think her books are a good time, but this one for me just was not that good. I found myself struggling to get through it, and I don't think it's a story that I'll remember for very long. It kind of just left my mind as soon as I finished it, unfortunately. So you could blame this on the reading slump, or you could just blame it on the fact that it wasn't for me. I don't know, but I still gave this one 3 stars, which is not a bad rating. That's like an average rating, so not terrible, just not a favorite for me. Then I moved on to a week of reading summer themed books that I did for a vlog. I posted it last week. You can go check it out if you want to, but the first book that I read for that vlog 100% pulled me out of my reading slump. I have this book to thank for everything, and that book is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This book was so good. Everybody said I would love it, and I had a feeling I would because I've loved the Emily Henry books I've read. I've read Beach Read and Happy Place. Both were such great times for me, but I did not think that this one was going to take over my life like it did. Like, I was living, walking, breathing People We Meet on Vacation. Like, it's all I thought about, and it's still all I'm thinking about a couple weeks later. Like, it was so good. I love Poppy and Alex. I loved the story, like all the different vacations they went on. There were so many quotes in here that just made me stop and think for a moment. And I just loved the love in this book. Like, it was just so cute. As much as I love January and Gus, this has to be my new favorite Emily Henry book. I'm just obsessed with it. This book was practically perfect to me. So this was hands down a 5-star read and one of my favorites ever now. And then to continue with the summer theme, I read a book that has been on my TBR for far too long now. It's been like a couple years and I've been saving it for the summer. I read Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book was perfect because it's set in August. I read it in August and it just has the best beachy summery vibes. It's set at a house party, and I thought it was so much fun. If you follow Taylor Jenkins Reid, you would know that this, Carrie Soto is Back, Daisy Jones and the Six, and The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo are all intertwined in a little bit of a way. And so this one follows Mick Riva and his family, primarily his children, but it did talk about him and his wife as well. I still hate Mick Riva as much as ever, but I did love learning about the rest of his family. I adored his wife, and his children were so great. However, I do have to say that this book did not hit the same spot that Daisy Jones and the Six and The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo did. Those books like tore me to shreds and stuck with me for such a long time. This book was so much fun, but it just was like missing that special something that I normally find in Taylor Jenkins Reid books. Which was a little sad, but I still did really enjoy it. I thought it was a great story about found family and finding your self-worth, kind of. And again, just a great summer read. So I did give this one 3.75 stars. Not as good as her other books to me, but I still did really enjoy it, and I can't wait to go read Carrie Soto is Back now. And then I moved on to a book that is not summer themed, but it is a book that I genuinely never thought I would read. I started my ACOTAR era. Okay, I finally picked up ACOTAR. I read it with some friends from work and I am shocked to say the least because I genuinely never thought I would read this. It's been on my bookshelf since 2015 and I did not think it would be my thing, so I've just never picked it up. I almost got rid of it so many times, but now here we are, and I have to say, I really enjoyed it. I was pleasantly surprised by this book. I thought the light Beauty and the Beast retelling was really fun, especially because I love Beauty and the Beast so much. I just found this book to be very gripping. Like, I didn't want to put it down. I thought about it all the time when I wasn't reading it. And obviously I don't have too much to compare it to because I am so new to fantasy, but I personally just thought it was so much fun. I don't think it's as good as all the hype says, but I do think that it was still a really fun time. There were some parts at the end that had me a little disappointed because I was expecting more based on things that had happened previously, but all that aside, I still had a really good time and I can't wait to continue the series now. So I gave this one 4.25 stars. And then to end my week of summer reads, I read Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan. This was actually an arc that I got from NetGalley and I was just a little behind on reading it, but this is kind of set along the same lines as Love and Other Words, Every Summer After, and The Two of Us. It's like that childhood friends to lovers and then they break apart because something happens and then they get a second chance at romance years later in life. And I eat those stories up. I talk about this all the time. That is like my favorite type of story. I will read a reiteration of Love and Other Words as many times as it's put out. Like, I will always read that story. However, I did find this one to be not as good as all the others that I've read. I found this one to be a little bit more boring. I didn't feel as connected to the characters and it just... the end upset me, okay? The end really upset me. You build up the whole book trying to see them fall in love, only for them to finally get together, and then it ends like 5 pages later, which was just so disappointing. I wanted more, and I was just sad. But it was still a cute book. It was great if you're just looking for like a really quick summer read. I flew through this book and I still did have a good time. I really liked our main characters, Sam and Wyatt. I thought their love was really cute. It just was not on the same level as all these other books that have the same story. So because of that, I only gave it a 3-star rating. But again, if you're looking for a super quick summer read, I would recommend this one. Then I read a book called Unnecessary Drama by Nina Kenwood. This is a YA coming-of-age romance about this girl who is moving out of her house for the first time. She's moving into college and she's living in this house that has this rule that there's no romance with your roommates and there's no unnecessary drama allowed. And she's fine with this until she finds out that one of her roommates is actually her high school crush turned enemy. So she kind of has to deal with these feelings that she might still have for him, kind of deal with learning to live with him while also learning to navigate life on her own for the first time and becoming an adult. And I thought it was really cool to see the coming of age aspect. It felt very realistic and there was a lot of good mental health rep in here, a lot of anxiety rep, which I appreciated. I just felt, one, like it was a little boring at a lot of times. It took me a while to get through, but also, again, with the romance, like Same Time Next Summer, you have all this build up the entire book just for the romance to last like 5 pages and then the book ends, which was, again, just a little bit disappointing to me, but I still did have a good time. I think maybe if I had read this book at a different time, it would have been more enjoyable, but it wasn't awful. It just wasn't the best thing ever. So I gave this one 3 stars as well. And I would say if you're looking for a cute coming of age YA book, I would definitely recommend it. So those were the 6 books that I read in August. As I said, I feel like I had a good reading month. Lots of books that I really enjoyed. And again, got out of my reading slump in August, so I am forever thankful for that month because it was about time. I was so tired of being in a reading slump, so very happy for that. Now moving on to my September TBR. As I said, I have all the fall reads. I am so excited for every book I want to read in September. I think I have 10 books here, so let's just get to them. So first I have a book that I honestly don't know much about. I kept seeing it at work. I work at Barnes & Noble if you didn't know, and it just seemed like a lot of people were buying it, so I figured I would give it a shot. I have Assistant to the Villain. This apparently is based off of a TikTok series, which doesn't mean much to me because I'm not really on that app, but apparently it's about a morally gray villain and his assistant, and they fall in love, and so it's like a fantasy romance, and that sounds amazing to me. I've heard that it's not the best writing, but that the story is super fun, and honestly, that's all I can ask for. That's good enough for me. Also, this one has red sprayed edges. It's the same publisher as Fourth Wing, so I just love the cover and the sprayed edges, super cute, but I think this one's gonna be really fun. Can't wait to jump into it. Then I have one that came out in August that I'm sure you could probably guess because it is super popular. We have The Brothers Hawthorne by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the book following the Inheritance Games trilogy, and it is about the brothers from that series, and I'm so excited to read this. First of all, can we talk about this cover? Like, that is stunning. Look at the purple. Jennifer Lynn Barnes covers never miss. Like, this might be my favorite cover of hers, but they're always so pretty. But I cannot wait to read this one. I don't know much about it. I just know it's about the brothers and there's more mystery. And I'm excited to read more about Grayson because I am a Grayson girly. Go comment below who your favorite Hawthorne brother is. I would love to hear. There's no judgment here. I appreciate everybody's opinions, but I just want to know. I'm just nosy, okay? So I want to know who your favorite is, please. Next we have A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. I want to read this one because kind of like how I never thought I would read Fourth Wing, I feel like if I don't read this right away, I'm never gonna pick it up and I will never finish the series. And I really want to finish the series because after how ACOTAR ended, I want to know what's gonna happen next and kind of figure out where all the loose ends from ACOTAR are gonna go. So I want to read this month. It is a little bit long, but I feel like I can do it. And I'm excited for it. Then I have a book that I have actually never heard of. I just saw it at work. There were 3 copies and me and 2 other girls bought it and said we would read it together. So I have Psyche and Eros by Luna McNamara. I don't know anything about this other than it is a Greek mythology retelling, and I recently read Song of Achilles and loved it, so I'm looking for more Greek mythology retellings. And inside this, it says, an epic adventure and love story for the ages, sure to satisfy fans of Madeline Miller and V.E. Schwab. I'm fans of both of them, and this cover again is beautiful, so I figured I should give it a shot, and I'm excited to get into it. On the topic of V.E. Schwab, I have a book that I want to read to finish a trilogy. I have A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. This book honestly has me really nervous and anxious because this trilogy so far has been really tough for me. I enjoyed the first book, and then the second book was not my thing and put me in a reading slump. So this one could go any way. I don't know if I'll like it, I don't know if I'll hate it, and it's really long. It's over 600 pages, so we're gonna see, but I am excited to finally finish this series because I love the characters in this book and I do feel really attached to them. It's just that the story always feels a bit boring to me, but we shall see. I'm excited to dive into it and see how I feel. And then I have a book that has been on my shelf for a couple months. I got this in June. I have Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I actually think this was in my last TBR video, but I actually do want to read it this month. Again, don't know anything about this one other than that it is a small town romance, and literally every review I've ever seen is amazing and people seem to love it. And I've been reading a lot less romance lately, but this one just sounds really good and I want to finally read it. So, gonna try to get to this one in September. Fingers crossed it happens, and I'll let you guys know what I think if I do. Next we have The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This is the same author of The Dead Romantics, and I actually bought this when it came out, but I haven't gotten to it yet, and now everybody's posting about it online, and I simply want to read this month because I have FOMO. I have FOMO because everybody seems to be obsessed with it, and I'm still sitting here with it on my shelf and I haven't read it, so I think it's time. I don't know much about this one other than that it's a romance, and something about it has one of them living 7 years in the past, which sounds crazy, and I'm really intrigued by it. I want to see how that's gonna work. And I'm just looking for a really cute, sweet, wholesome romance, and this one just feels fall to me, so I'm excited for it. And next we have Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince by J.K. Rowling. I have been on a Harry Potter journey for quite a while now. If you've watched any of my videos, you might know that I am working my way through the series for the first time, and I read the 5th book back in January, and I've been saying I was going to read this one ever since, but it's finally time because, number 1, it's September, back to Hogwarts, it's perfect. Number 2, the Harry Potter book club that I'm in is reading this book this month, so I figured it's time. So I genuinely do want to get to this one this month. When? I don't know, but it's gonna happen. And I honestly am really excited because since I haven't read the books and I haven't seen the movies in so long, I don't know what to expect from this book. It's gonna be all fun and exciting and new to me, so I'm really excited. But on a different topic, please tell me why I think that I can read 3 books that are over 600 pages long this month, along with all the other books I want to read, when I have the least amount of reading time I've had in such a long time. Like, I don't know who I am thinking I can do this, but here we are. But anyway, yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. And then we have a book that I'm actually waiting on to come in the mail today, a book that I've been on a hunt for months now. We have Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This book blew up and then sold out everywhere, and I have been looking for it, and it was finally available one day at Barnes & Noble, so I ordered it, and it's coming today, and I am so freaking excited. Like, I cannot wait for this book. Genuinely don't know anything about it. I know it's YA, historical fiction, fantasy, and I think they write letters to each other, and that's it, but that sounds amazing to me, and everybody loves it, so I cannot wait to get to it and see what I think. I will be reading this book this month because I have waited so long, and I'm tired of hearing so many great things about it and not understanding why everybody loves it, so I will be reading that this month. And finally, one last book, we have Signed, Sealed, Delivered by Juliana Smith. This is an arc. It is the second book following Per My Last Email that she released earlier this year, and I loved Per My Last Email, so I'm really excited to read this one. This one follows Nathan and Calla, who are the sibling and best friend of the characters from Per My Last Email. I have been looking forward to this book for so long. I always adore Juliana Smith's books, and I think they are just so much fun, so I'm really excited to dive into this one and see what I think. So those were all the books that I read in August and want to read in September. I think I have a really good TBR set up. A lot of them just feel very fall to me, and I'm so excited for all of them. So if there was a new favorite book that you read in August or one that you're looking forward to in September, I would love to hear about it. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. That helps me so much. And also, if you want to be friends, all of my socials will be linked down below as always. So that was the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next video.